What is the POTA pecking order? Is my Bluetooth ammo box any good for ham radio because of the impedance? And packable, portable, POTA car kits and antennas. This time on Ham Radio Tube. What is happening, everyone? Thanks for tuning in to Mailbag Monday. My name is Mike K at MRD. If you have an amateur radio related question for me, shoot me an email. k@mrd@icloud.com. We've got three wonderful things to talk about today. Thank you, everyone, for always writing in. This first question, this viewer is asking, good afternoon, Mike. That's me. POTA activation. I understand that the activator has their own way of selecting who they come back to, including ban conditions. But if all things are equal, is there an unwritten handshake on pecking order? Aircraft, C, YL, mobile, park-to-park, portable, DX, etc. Just in case I ever activate, which you should. I'd like to play nice in the sandbox. So that's a good question. And I think one of the great things about POTA is that everybody's activation is their own activation. You do it however you want. Some guys will sit there and, they might have a little QSO with each individual. Some guys are more just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. My activation is going to be different than your activation and his activation and her activation. You can do whatever you want. So I can only speak for myself. Generally, I come back to the first person that I can hear or, the first part of their call sign. That's usually who I pick up on. Sometimes there's a guy that sneaks in at the very end. If you have like a really, really big pileup, like I did a twofer the other day, and I made 142 contacts in an hour and 1 minute. So imagine that pileup. It was pretty intense. So that's kind of how I roll. But I did actually work an aeronautical mobile station. He was a pilot over Chicago. I think he said he was like 36,000 feet or something ridiculous like that. So that's cool. Park to parks, I think, that would probably be the one like unwritten rule. If you hear a park to park, they're going to kind of get precedence because we're both out there doing the same thing and we want those park to parks. So if I hear someone throw out their call sign or if I hear a park to park, even if I have a station that, say I heard a Kilo 6 or something, I'll say park to park, stand by. Who's the Kilo 6? I'll work the Kilo 6, and then I'll go right to the park to park. And same thing with, if I hear mobile or if I hear QRP, sometimes I'll stop and just say, all right, are there any QRPs? QRP only. I'll wait for those guys or park to parks. Same thing, DX. I worked a guy in Colombia. And his call threw me off. He was like a hotel kilo. I was like, what? Huh? It took a second to register. But do it how you want. And it's going to take practice. Don't expect just to go out the first time and just be able to nail it. You might. But, you kind of got to find your stride and all that. But, yeah, do whatever the heck. There's almost no rules in POTA. No repeaters. That's kind of it. And you got to be within the park boundaries. That's it. Other than that, go out there, play radio, do whatever the heck you want. Doesn't matter. So thanks for writing in. I hope you do get out there and do a POTA. And thanks for writing in. Next, we've got a video on this beautiful, beautiful Bluetooth ammo can that I built on a couple weeks ago. We saw that video. Back 4320, this is from the YouTube comments. Would the aux work with the external speaker output on our radios? Not sure how all the impedance matching would go. Well, would you believe that is exactly why I put an auxiliary input on that box? Part of it was for radios, especially went for like days like field day or like winter field day. We're all at the pavilion. There was like 20 or 30 people there. And when you're trying to operate radio, I hate wearing headphones. I don't like wearing headphones. So part of the idea for that auxiliary input was to connect it to a radio so I could simply have a louder speaker, because it is my opinion that there is not a single radio on the market that has a speaker that's loud enough, especially when you got 20 people talking around you. So if I can crank up the volume, that's great. But so yes, it does work, and let me show you how it works and how it sounds. So let's hop over to the bench. So here we done got ourselves our Bluetooth speaker box, and we got this fancy little ICOM 705 as a radio. And I've got a little TRS to TRS, which is unfortunate because this is mono.
I should really have a TS to TRS, but who cares? So we plug that in thusly into the speaker port. And as I designed this box to have an auxiliary input, which is what that is. Now hold on to your butts, turn on the radio. Oh, look at that. We can hear things. Look at that. It's freaking loud too. Watch, I'll go in the other room.
This is KMRD testing the auxiliary input audio from the Bluetooth ammo box that one guy on YouTube questioned if it would work. Clearly we can see this is designed to do exactly that, and there are no problems whatsoever. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe button. KMRD.
So there you go. Now you know the rest of the story. And finally, we have a great question from a POTA guy in Ontario. He says, "Hi from Ontario, Canada Mike." I don't know if he's calling me Canada Mike or Ontario, Canada Mike. There it is. "I'm a newly licensed ham. Congratulations. Welcome to the club. And have just set up a humble little station with an ICOM 7300 and an end-fed half-wave from my antennas. I've watched countless videos of yours, thank you, and I've become very intrigued with becoming involved in POTA. Wondering if you would be able to point me in the right direction regarding an antenna, DX Commander, end-fed half-wave. I'm just really confused as this is all so new to me. I'm confused because I can't read. Ideally want to set up a little kit I can just keep in my car. Any advice you could offer would be great. Thanks, Aaron, VA3BFX." Well, thanks, Aaron, for writing it. So you got a couple things here. One, you mentioned the DX Commander. The DX Commander is top 2 favorite antenna in the world. And I would highly recommend that. But I also recommend an end-fed half-wave. There's situations where you might want one or the other, especially when you don't know what park you're going to. Sometimes you'll have 66 feet to put up a 40-meter end-fed half-wave. Sometimes you won't, so you might need to put up that vertical. Being that they're both multi-band resonant antennas is great for me because you don't need an antenna tuner. So I would say really get one of each. Now, you mentioned the 7300. I don't know if you want to leave that in your car forever, but let's take a little trip and I'll show you what I do. So, Mike, take it away.
My DX Commander lives in my trunk. I always just keep it like this. I keep the base plate and the driven elements on so you never have to muck with it. And that's that. It stays right in the corner. And then this is a Carhartt lunchbox that I've got all. You've got all the wires, all your radiating elements, all your ground radials. You've got this one of the spreaders here. This is one of the older versions. I've got all the little rubber hose things. I've got some extra connectors for BNC to SO239 or all kinds of stuff. Paracord for guying, stakes, everything for the DX Commander fits, or crams rather, into this bag. And because it is a portable antenna, it doesn't make sense to be anywhere than in my car. Now, as far as packing your radio, there is an ICOM 7300 inside here. This is my go bag, and I use the 7300 as my portable radio. This is the Gigaparts Explorer bag. I'll leave a link for this in the description. Looking right at the top, we've got some Messi and Poloni. This is the POTA Flex 6. This is held on with their new, what do they call this? MP strap. Stefano just gave this to me at Hamcation. Thank you, Stefano. I didn't want it. I'm like, what am I going to use it for? And now I love it. So there's that. And this just Velcros off. All right. Next, I have my $60 crap top. All right, that goes in there. In this top compartment, I usually have a bunch of stuff. There's my mouse for my crap top. And here is the Rig Expert Stick Pro with charging cable and a little BNC adapter. What else is in here? Nothing's in here right now. Usually there's like one more thing in there. The charging cable for the power, or for the laptop, goes in there. Let's see, on the side, I've got just a little multi-tool, because you never know when you're gonna need it. This is that crappy Biebery thing. It's actually not that bad, that I reviewed a while ago. In this pouch, this has actually become very, very handy. A tiny little hammer from Harbor Freight. You got some hard ground, you need to drive in some stakes, good luck, unless you got a hammer. So that lives there. Adds a bit of weight to it, but it's worth it. On this side, I've got just this little, I don't know, twisty tie thing. And then this is the PAC-10, a 10-meter mast, basically the same thing as the DX Commander mast. That fits there and just tightens down, stays there. Oh, first aid kit. Always have a first aid kit. Let's open this guy up. Now, let's see, here is the ICOM 7300. Got the portable zero rails on there. I just don't worry about this radio in here. I've got my quirky QRP mouse pad amateur band plan thing. This is really cool. You can get these on Etsy. He's the first one that designed these things. Everyone else is copying them. So if you see one of these mats that doesn't say quirky QRP, they rip James off. Then I've got 3 extra stakes. These have come in handy in this pouch. I've got more paracord, more stakes. Like you can never have too much of this stuff. All of this stuff has come in handy. You think it's overkill, it's not. In this pouch, I have Altoids. You got to keep your breath fresh. Just kidding. Got a couple CW keys and a little adapter for the radio, because like the 7300 has a 1/4 inch and everything else has 3.5 millimeter. And I've got some little twisty intubating stylets that my friend Ryan gave me. Just like more twisty tie things. I don't usually keep this in here, but you can put a 20 amp hour Bioenno in here, or smaller, or whatever. This is just to show. I don't usually use this. I use a 30 amp hour in my Big Geek battery box, but it fits there. Like everything you need. And then this little pouch here has all your little ancillary items. Here's my power cord and USB for the radio. Here's my microphone. Here is my PAC-10 end-fed half-wave. Everyone needs one of these, and a DX Commander in their kit. And then I've got 50 feet of RG316. This is from ABR Industries. This has the ferrite chokes on there. I've got my GPS dongle. I've got a couple S-beaners. Can always use some of those. I've got an inline choke and a whole bag of adapters. ABC, always be adapting. So that's that pack. And then I've got some other crap in here. What is this? I don't know. I think we just crammed some stuff in here. Yeah, USB and some jumpers and stuff. That's not usually in here, but you've got extra storage up here. So that's what I keep in this pack, and this is my POTA pack. That's it. Now that last bag was pretty darn big and there was a lot of stuff in it, and I understand you asked about the 7300, but I want to show you another option as well. Again, Carhartt lunch bags. I love these things. So you need a mast. So I have a mast, okay, the PAC-10 mast, whatever mast you want, just throw it in your trunk. There's an entire radio station in this bag, totally self-contained. So here we have the Xiegu, Xiegu, Zorro, however the heck you want to say it, 5105 rather. Internal battery, you don't need an extra battery, but I have a little 3 amp hour Bioenno in here. This is a 9-to-1 antenna that K6ARK made for me. He sells these as kits. And I don't need any coax with this because this antenna plugs directly into the radio. I've done videos with this and it works fantastic. Here's another one of them little twisty tie things. Got the microphone, like everything you need is in this little bag. I even have, here's that N6ARA mini SWR meter I threw in here. I've got a power cord to connect from the battery to the radio, like such, okay? So that all works. I've got a little cable for the N6ARA tiny paddle, little CW paddle. Yeah, I don't do CW, but I know enough to, if a friend of mine is out, I can at least throw my call sign out and make a contact. And then just some miscellaneous adapters and stuff, and a fuse that doesn't belong to this radio. This actually goes to the 705, but like there's a whole radio station in a tiny little bag, and you can keep that in your trunk much easier than what I just showed you before. And there's a whole heck of a lot less money in this bag than that other bag. So just wanted to show you options. Like I've made so many contacts with this radio or any QRP radio. I can take the 705 and put it in this bag. You could take, you probably could fit a G90 or an 891 in this bag. Probably have to reorganize some things. You might not be able to have quite as many things, but you know, just giving you some food for thought on how you can pack for POTA. So them's my answers.
So there you are. I hope that helps. That's just 2 little things that I do. There is no one answer. There is no one thing solves everything. So you're going to always be evolving and adapting and coming up with different solutions. For me, the 7300 in that Gigaparts Explorer bag is the perfect solution for me, especially with the weight that's in there and how comfortable that bag is to wear. It just really does it. But if you want to get a little QRP radio and stuff it into a lunchbox or a small little bag, there's so many other configurations I could show you as well. It's just, you got to play around with it and yeah, just have fun doing it. And every time you do it, you'll be like, okay, maybe I need this, maybe I don't need this. Best way to practice, put whatever gear you're going to get, put it in a bag, take all that gear and set it up in your backyard or your front yard or wherever. So you know when you're setting it up, do I really need this? Or, oh crap, I need to run inside and grab whatever. So that way you really know what bits of stuff you need to put in that bag to have an effective ham radio set up for portable for wherever you want. So that's my advice. I'm sure hopefully people will put their own comments in and maybe make their own suggestions so we can all learn and share together. And with that, I will say thank you so much for watching another episode of Mailbag Monday. If you have an amateur radio-related question for me, shoot me an email, k@mrd@icloud.com. And until next time, we'll see you again on another episode of Ham Radio Tube 73, y'all. Where's the banana? Where's the banana? There's the banana. We have a question about this beautiful Bluetooth ammo box that I just built. That is not the first question.